That'll make it so much easier. Beautiful, thank you.
Okay. So I'll let you start first.
Yeah, so I was just pulling up these links to the other stories we've done in this series. So the Pleasanton Weekly is doing a series on downtown communities throughout the Tri-Valley,
Hmm.
all of which are very different, as I'm sure you're aware, and San Ramon has some unique circumstances. So here's the first one we did on Livermore. And nobody needs to go through these right now, but I want to give you the links so you know the context here. This is the one for Pleasanton. And then it doesn't really count as a downtown, but we did a small one on Black Hawk Plaza as well. So basically, where we're at, we're going to be doing these throughout the year. So where we're at now is San Ramon is up next. And downtown San Ramon, again, is kind of a unique circumstance. It's not really, doesn't really exist yet. It's kind of more of a concept than what you would consider something like a downtown Livermore, downtown Pleasanton that's been around for over a century.
Mhm.
So I have all this information about the City Walk Master Plan, about different developments, redevelopments of Bishop Ranch. And what I've been struggling to get insight on is just how residents feel about it, what you want to see in a potential downtown, whether you want a downtown, and what you think about the changes that are on the horizon.
Well, if you take have my say, you know my say actually.
What was
The
that?
City Walk master plan, which was created, was basically to make a 15 minutes walkable downtown, right?
Or that's the results, they said. Because Sunset had this big presentation with this map where they showed like
Yes.
all the future things would be.
But when you go look at it now, the entire plan is not even, there's nothing in it.
Right. Well, it's a 20-year plan. So I think we're about a quarter of the way into it at this point. So that's part of the situation too. It's still, I'm using the word nascent. It's still kind of, it's not there yet.
Where the idea of mixed housing is completely disappeared from
It's
the
completely
equation.
what? Separate?
Completely disappeared. There is no mixed housing. It's only
Mixed housing.
townhouse or city village over city village. I'm not sure if you're aware of city village.
And then what about the Orchards project? Have you looked into that one?
Yes, Orchard project is also going in the exact same direction as the city village kind of townhouse kind of
So it is focused
development.
on housing, but there is a part of the plan is at least as much square foot of real retail space as there is at city center currently.
Well, 1 year ago, it was also planned to have retail space in the DMU North. Do we have any? In
Have
the
what?
The
Green space?
DMU North was also 1 year ago. If I ask you, you would say there was a plan to have a mixed housing, retail, and those. But
Right.
once it comes towards the development, the retail space disappears, the starter homes disappear, and only the townhomes come in picture.
What would you like to see more of that in terms of making it a true mixed use neighborhood?
So at the core of the problem is we are losing population as well as we are losing the school enrollment are in decline and to such a level that we have to start cutting the school staff.
So yeah, so part of that something I talked to with Gary Alpert earlier about because he's on the SRVF board as well,
Mhm.
is that its enrollment is declining throughout the district, but they are anticipating, and demographers with the district are using data from the city, enroll or growth in population with this new housing going in, and that's meant to make or they're expecting that to make the enrollment decline a little bit less dramatic throughout the district and offset it a bit, even though it's still going down.
Yes, because the homes that we are building are usually about $2 million.
That's
The
true.
price is about $2 million. You are not going to get starter families on those homes. Yes, you may get a few, but not as many as you will get typically if you have a smaller starter homes, which are the younger families.
And then, so what would you want to see in terms of anything that would be the same or different
So
in
that was the
when
basic
it comes
reason.
to when it comes to redeveloping Bishop Ranch?
So that was the core reason the FAR ratio was set to 1.25, not zero point 0.5.
I'm sorry, what was that?
The FAR ratio was set to 1.25.
Yeah, I don't want to get too hung up on that though, because again, as we talked about before, this is kind of about the big picture. And when it kind of came to the amendment, I see your issues with the overall situation. But getting too into the weeds there, there's a lot of technicalities, and I think things that get pretty plausibly explained by the city, um, that I don't necessarily want to dive too far into.
Well,
Unless we're dealing with the city's responses too, and you have responses to their response.
no, I'm saying when you reduce the FAR, it doesn't bring more houses.
Right.
It actually reduces the number of houses,
Right. So
right?
this is a separate metric from density, but you're saying it impacts the density.
It does impact the number of
So,
houses available because if you keep the FAR ratio high, you will need to build a smaller houses, smaller high density houses, right?
so so are you calling for more or less density?
So I am calling for more starter homes, which will attract the younger families.
But
As,
a lot
as
of so one issue that's come up with that is so I would think if anything, the FAR amendment would make it by lowering it, there would be more room for potential single family houses than less with a higher FAR.
well, the problem is single family houses in the downtown is not according. It will increase the traffic because every home will have more than one car, right?
Sure, that's something that comes up. But
And
that's what I'm trying to
the,
make it clear is, do you want to see more houses? Do
I
you want to
want
see more
to
single family houses?
I want to see less single family houses and more houses where our younger families can stay.
Okay,
So
but not townhouses.
reduce the yeah reduce the price of the home. Price tag
I
should be
see. Yeah.
lower. That's the key purpose.
So I think one concern and one area of pushback that would happen if there was more affordable housing in terms of total, but also if it was more affordable to more households. I think people are concerned about property value and they want to see that keep going up. So what are your thoughts on that?
So it is contrary to what we say our property values. Our property values will decline as soon as our school enrollment declines and the school quality declines. According with the as soon as the enrollment declines, the quality declines because the public school is completely funded by the state funds, which goes for each student $9,000. If that value goes down, right now we are making the class bigger, and as soon as our the school quality goes down, the prices will go down eventually.
Okay.
So
Um,
bringing smaller houses will actually retain their property values rather than.
and do you mean throughout the city in general or in the Bishop Branch area in particular?
I think it is from the Bishop Ranch, starts with Bishop Ranch, but yes, there are other rooms of development too in Dorothy Valley as well.
Mm-hmm. So what you would like to see is more single family homes, but more density, but that you think that would increase enrollment in the school district.
I would actually like to see very 80% of affordable by design, not by affordable by discounting,
Yes,
affordable by design.
we can only dream.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
So
think that makes sense too, because also having more affordable housing would make it easier for
right
people to
now,
start their families here.
right now, if a person like me thinks about my kid want to come back and live in San Ramon, there is no room for them.
Mm-hmm. And then, so what do you think about the Eden housing project? The 100% affordable.
Well, I compared the prices of the Eden housing as well as the afford. There are like six other affordable housing projects in San Ramon, which six or seven other affordable housing, and the rent over there starts at 1900 $1,700, and the one which are not affordable, which starts at 19 to 2100. So
Hmm.
the affordability $200, $300 discount is not really a discount. I mean,
Yeah,
it is just a whitewashing the issue.
yeah, I see.
If you see today's planning commission meetings, Sunset is offering $3,000 for each home, which they move from for sale to rental.
Mm-hmm.
Out of $1 million benefit, they will be giving $3,000 to the city.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then there'll be part of that that's always been part of the plan, apparently, has been for Sunset to transfer affordable units from other projects
Yeah.
to Eden Housing.
And according to the state density bonus law, those affordable units are supposed to be inside the same parcel, not in other parcel.
Mm-hmm.
Currently,
But
they're
yeah,
moved
they have
from
a
one
way of
parcel to
working
other
it out.
parcel.
Yeah. So I don't want to, so I want to hear from your friends as well.
Yes, Johannes,
And
I will let
does everybody live kind of near the Bishop Ranch area?
Johannes lives right nearby.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Um,
Hi, how are you?
Hi, nice to meet you.
I'm sorry. How do I pronounce your name? I don't want to mispronounce it.
Janita.
Janita. Okay,
Yeah,
well, it's a pleasure to meet you.
very nice to meet you. Then yeah, I've been interested
Right.
to hear from
Yeah.
someone in the neighborhood.
Yeah. No problem. I live right up the street from City Hall on
Great.
the corner of Bollinger and Alcosta where the golf course is.
Great.
So that has a huge impact on us. I'll give you my perspective and I'll give you my 2 cents for what it's worth. Not from a technical perspective, but as a resident and as a business perspective also. And I could sort of start from the big picture and sort of narrow it down. Uh, and then, like you said, without getting too technical. To me, Janita, here's my issue. After living abroad 10 years, my wife and my son, they live here. I moved back to the US. And I really wanted to get involved in the city. Okay, so when I joined, I was very enthusiastic and very happy on what I could be able to contribute because I'm an investment banker. Here's my number one big issue with the whole real estate thing. To me, I'm indifferent whether the ratio is 1.25 or 0.25 or zero point 0.5. Each one of us have our pain point. To me, the biggest issue that we have is we have no clarity from the council. What do they want? What are they trying to do? I say to me, every time you talk, you leave confused. The meetings. I would love to see a miniature version of what's that row in San Jose?
Santana
Santana
Row.
Row.
Yeah,
Santana Row.
comes up a lot.
I don't expect that to see it, but some version of it with a mixture of housing where P families can come. And that's a vision I had.
Mhm.
Okay. And in some form or shape where it incorporates the houses. And then you have fun places. You don't have to go to Dublin, to Pleasanton, for families to go out. But now, for some reason, that's not the picture I have. Okay. The issue, Janita, is that I don't know why. You're not allowed to debate. You're not allowed, you can make a comment, but no one answers questions. There's no town hall meeting where we can really listen from the technical experts. Okay. So I have no idea why the council has never been open to the way it should be open to the public, where there's true sense of communication. Okay. The communication we have is we go to the commission, we give our speech, no response. Where's the debate? Okay. So
So what would you like? You mentioned town halls. What would you like to see to address that?
well, what I would like to, great question. What I would like to see is I would like a specific meeting from the council, from Sunset, from everyone. We have a town hall meeting where they walk us step by step, and we have the right to ask them 20 questions, not
Get
one or
answered.
timed 3 minutes. Sort of like a town hall meeting. Call it whatever you want, but you get my picture. Where
Yeah.
is that? You've never had it. Why? Okay, so where is the input of the residents?
Mm-hmm.
And what's that?
Sorry, I was just going to ask, when did you move back so I can try to time that into where they were at in
I
this?
moved about a year ago,
Okay,
but
gotcha.
I got involved in January.
Right, gotcha.
So within 6 months, I really picked up a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So from a business perspective, it really baffles me. And I've been very specific and asked them, you got to have a communication. So what happens is, none of these citizens get involved until the construction is about to start. Then everyone hears about it, but by then it's too late. Then you have lawsuits, and it defies the whole purpose. So to me, the
Yeah.
way I see it is, it's a complete lack of leadership. Do I think they're corrupt or anything like that? No, I don't. I really don't. If they are, there's nothing I know. But it's a lack of experience how to bring a community together, hear, listen, explain, educate. Everyone has a vote, and then go forward. That part is missing, number one.
Yeah.
Number two,
Sorry.
yeah, go ahead.
I guess just what else would you like to see beyond the city council meetings? Good solid town hall discussion from Sunset in the city. Any other ideas?
I wouldn't expect much out of that.
Right. Just
I
so you
wouldn't
can throw it
expect.
out
Yeah,
there
no,
and
I wouldn't
say,
expect, and there's nothing much they could do. A lot of it depends on Sunset, but these are people representatives, the council meeting. Okay, they say if you have any question, call us. No, I don't want to call you. I don't have time to call you. I got a living to make. Okay, set up a meeting. Whoever comes, comes. If no one shows up, you've done your part. And I have specifically one-on-one told them, have a town hall meeting. You guys are missing. When we started, it was me. Shirag called me. I never knew Shirag in January. I didn't know whether he's good, bad. I had no idea. It
you
was
didn't
him
vote
and
for
his
him in
friend. I
November?
forgot. Huh?
So you didn't vote for
What's
him in
that?
November? You didn't vote for him in
No, I
November?
was no, I didn't know him. I didn't know him. Now that I know, I would have voted for him. At that time, I did not know him. Because to me, the reason that it expanded and more of us are getting involved is because of the frustration and lack of communication, and he's getting more momentum, and that's how you got involved. When someone like you gets involved, well, okay, this is going overboard. Because it means to me, tells me there's a real issue that needs to be addressed. In a positive way, by the way, nothing against you. So that's number one. Number two, the clarity of like the Eaton House. I have no issue with it. When you talk to them, they have a way of explaining it. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. What I told them is, don't take all the 15 apartment here, 15 apartment, 15 apartment, and build one building for lower income. That's Section 8, technically. How would people feel about that? You got to look at the social aspect of it. As somebody who grew up poor in Africa, it has a stigma to it. You see, what's the social impact on it? And then number three, if they're building all these homes, which I support, we need to bring the prices down for our police people, fire people, everybody. The price needs to, the only people who don't like the price to come is us, those who have homes already. Okay, but that's okay. You know, it's all a matter of supply and demand. Okay, so to me, I would love to see homes, whether it's a townhome, apartments. I'll leave that to the urban planners who understand what urban planning means. Okay, but the issue that I have is I really would like to see transparency, communication, honesty, and a concern from the council meeting. That's it. Now I'll take all your questions because otherwise we will have the same problem we have. Where's that supermarket where it's stuck because of the lawsuit?
Right,
So
yeah.
just to back it up, like
Huh?
we 8 people came to the city meeting and spoke about asking for a town hall. There's zero response.
Yeah. Well, so one thing is that as they say in the meetings, the Brown Act prohibits them from responding to anything that's not on the agenda. They can respond though if it is on the agenda, and I know a lot of times they don't when that's the case.
That's perfect. Even
Which
after that, when they
hold on.
say that, okay,
Right.
we'll do it, they don't do it.
I respect that. I
Yeah.
respect that. I'm not saying that.
No,
But
and I
there's
understand a lot of times you are
yeah. But
compromised
there's
on
no
it,
law that says there's no law that says you cannot bring the community and educate the community on what we're trying to do and give us a vision.
right. So he wants to see something more collaborative and interactive from the council.
With a clear clarity based on the original plan. And if it has changed, to explain to us in a clear. If no one shows up, that's okay.
Yeah.
But that part is missing.
Yeah, understood.
Yeah.
So I guess, what are your thoughts in terms of retail and other kinds of development beyond housing in the neighborhood?
We need it.
Yeah, do you want to see more? And what kinds of retail?
Without a doubt, without a doubt, the way they have it is they have a lot of houses, housings, apartments, condos, townhomes, call it whatever you want. At the bottom, they'll put a coffee shop here, coffee shop there. No, we still end up driving to Dublin then. We still end up driving to Pleasanton. Okay? From a business perspective, those people are taking our tax money when it should be retained here.
Right.
Okay? Because unless the business grows, the sales tax is not going to grow. Last year, we had a 14 million deficit because of how? Because of the tax. They didn't manage their money. How did they solve it? They just increased the tax. What
Yes.
happens with the next time we do?
Yeah. So I mean, with that tax increase, they want to get
Without tax, and
more sales.
then you'll have a revolt by people. I mean, they're lucky that they got this approved. Part of my issue, there is no clear plan on how to attract more businesses.
Mhm.
We are depending on Chamber of Commerce. It's not Chamber of Commerce. What's the other one,
Discover
Sharon?
San Ramon.
Huh?
Discover San Ramon, the tourism
No, I
district.
think it's Chamber probably, the one
That Chamber of
that,
Youth,
Commerce.
yeah,
yeah.
we're depending on them, but that's not, they will do it, but you cannot depend on them to increase revenue by attracting more small businesses. And I've
Mhm.
told them, can I host a meeting? Do you want me to do anything? Can I help? And they know we're going to depend on chambers. I said, okay, so I asked other cities, how do they manage it? Okay, I said, let me educate myself. Fremont, all the big ones, they manage by working closely with chamber. The
Yeah.
issue with us is they meet with chamber twice a year. If you're lucky, 3 times a year. So
Use
what's a
more.
clear plan that there's nothing. There's nothing. So this is my issue that I have, not for a technical person purpose, but from a pure business urban planning development.
Understood.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think so I don't want to take up too much of your time. We haven't heard from Kismet yet. Hey,
Good to meet you, Janet. Yeah. So
it's great.
I completely echo what Johannes has been mentioning. I hope I'm pronouncing the name correct, right? It's
Yes, yes, yes.
Johannes, right? Yeah. So I completely agree that there has to be a town hall meeting. At the same time, I've been looking at the Zoom meetings that are not happening. I feel that is extremely important because there are a lot of people in their 60s and 70s, and they really want to see the city grow. And the only way to get them involved is having the Zoom meeting online, wherein they can put in the comments and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Other thing, absolutely important to have the town hall meeting, right? Wherein there is some involvement by the community, right? At least, and at the early stage, right? Like what we see in the marketplace project, right? We don't want to see that happen again. So it's very important that there is some level. Okay, if there is even one meeting, right? Again, what has been mentioned is correct. If people show up, show up. If they don't, then they don't, right? At least there is an opportunity for
Yeah,
somebody to come and talk.
yeah, yeah.
The Zoom thing is extremely important. I agree that there is more construction, more people that need to be in the city, especially who are younger ones, right? Who will fill up our schools. And I mean, I moved to San Ramon in 2011. Now, the only reason I moved and then Chirag moved a couple of years after me is just good school district, right? And and I think it's very important to get younger population who can afford the place and at least fill the school district, keep the quality of the schools up, and that's what drives the price of the homes. Right? I mean, I have seen other neighborhoods. I would have never been to here if the schools weren't great, right? So those are a few things that I can think of at this point. Other than that, yeah, because I've seen, I mean, I've been to few meetings and I've seen at least two or three older people in their 70s and 80s who are driving by. I mean, it takes a lot at that age to just show up and be over there, right? I mean, if there's a facility where they can log in from home, and I mean, Zoom is like a global communication. With COVID, we all have learned how effective it could be, right? So I think it is extremely important that people are able to share their opinion and I mean, all of that is just going to help the city and make San Ramon a wonderful place to live, right? So those are my 2 cents.
Yeah, that's great.
So
Thank you.
one more issue I wanted to talk about the appeal fees. Jim Bickenstaff, ex-council member, he has come to city meetings for at least 4 to 5 times, saying like why the appeal fees has been 4,500, whereas every other city is $300 or lower. So an old man like that at this state, an ex-council member has to have some respect. I mean,
Sure, yeah. So you'd
he's
like for
feeling,
him to be able to kick
he's
back
like
at
looking
council.
like what the state of the city is. That itself speaks a lot.
Understood.
Somebody
Yeah.
has to come, and most of them used to come, they stop coming because we have an irresponsive council.
Yeah. So I'm hearing you would like to see town hall discussions, open up virtual participation again. So those are two things that I can say you guys are calling for in the story. And then in
And
terms of
That is
have a reasonable appeal fee, not a reasonable appeal fee.
what was that?
Have a reasonable appeal fee
Sure.
to be able to appeal.
Oh
It's
yeah,
going
yeah,
to,
that too. I know we talked about this.
yeah.
So then I guess in
To me,
terms,
Janetta, the most important is it's like any company. You got to have a clarity. What are you trying to achieve? A clear vision, what needs to be achieved. I
Mhm,
understand in 2020, from Shirag, I understand, or whenever a master plan was created for the city, that has been voted in. Now, what we have is different from that. If it's
mhm.
different, the way it's communicated, the way it's approved, yeah, the way it's approved needs to be looked into. You just can't. Now, the reason I don't get technical with you is because if you go and talk to the council or to anyone, they have their own way justification. So to me, the way I look at it, that's fine. You know what? Everyone has their own reasons. I just want to stick a guardrail on how the city should be run. That's all.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I want for this is feedback
Okay.
from residents. So I
Yeah.
guess I have to put a finer point on it. Do either of you have more you want to say about downtown specifically? So do you even want a downtown in San Ramon?
100%.
Yes, we
100%.
do.
So you
We do
want it.
want
You
it.
want to see the
No
retail, you want
doubt.
to see more housing. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
in a perfect world, what are some things that you would like to see in the next 5-10 years as it develops?
So I would like to see something where we have a bus service which is serving the entire community. Right
Mhm,
now, the bus service is impossible because if you see the way the housing are designed, townhomes cannot be served by buses.
mhm,
And the whole Contra Costa County paid a significant money for the transportation. CCTA paid a
mhm,
significant money for all the transportation, bridge and everything. Right now, Eden Housing or Avalon Bay Housing, which is coming up, the rental apartments, they are not
mhm.
serving that number of houses either. So 800 in Avalon Bay and 200 in Eden Housing.
Yeah. So do you mean more transportation within the city or to and
Transportation
from?
oriented development, not
I see.
against
One
it.
problem is we don't have a ton of transportation, so we gotta
Yeah.
boost our transportation
No, Janita,
infrastructure a
yeah,
bit.
Janita, it has to go beyond transportation. It has to be, right now, the whole San Remo, where all families go is only one circle called the city center. That's it. And it has to expand beyond that by
Mhm,
attracting stores, mall, some version of malls maybe, restaurants, outside sittings, walkable areas, all those things that makes a city a beautiful city.
mhm.
And Bishop Ranch
Yeah,
office design is still a very great design.
yeah.
Rather than demolishing it, we can prosper it by building smaller homes. We'll
Which
get
design?
workers. If we build smaller homes, we'll get workers, and this all office complex will be filled by people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So more seems like
Rather than
everybody kind of
demolishing
has
it,
the same
we
goals
can
and
Yeah.
rejuvenate
outlook.
it. And I'm happy to talk to Sunset as well for that.
Yeah. No, I think they should have some kind of event. They've done media tours and stuff. Every once in a while, someone will pop up with a story about how Bishop Ranch is transforming, and yeah, they're not really operating in the shadows, but I see how they could be doing a lot more public outreach, which is something
Yeah.
I'll mention to them.
Yes. Yes.
I think that does it for now. Again, just for this, wanted to really, I mean, I want to make connections as much as I can for all of my coverage. But yeah, I really just wanted to hear from people about what it's like living near these new developments, your thoughts on them, and what you want to see in the future.
This planning commission meeting is just got over, and Max
Just
will
finished.
join.
Oh, okay, great.
If, my question for you is, part of my issue also, Jeanette, is if you ever come to the council meeting, you have about 20, 25 people who attend. Out of the 20, 25 people, 20 of them are employees of the city.
Mm-hmm.
2, 3, 4 of us are there consistently. And yet
Right.
when I go to other cities, it's full.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Pleasanton's always busy.
What
Go
are
to
they doing
Pleasanton,
right?
yes.
Let me ask you, 1 second, Chirag. What are they doing right that we're not?
I have that same question too. So I've covered Livermore and Pleasanton here and there. I filled in
Yeah.
for my colleagues. Mostly I've been at Danville and San Ramon. And
Mhm.
and I don't know what they're doing, but I don't know if it's necessarily good. A lot of people are upset about a lot of things. So it's not always just smooth sailing, but they do get that really massive public turnout. And I'm not sure what their outreach looks like that's so different.
Well, I went to Pleasanton Council meeting.
Oh,
It is
good.
so much full, but if
Yes.
you see in every item in the agenda, every item is discussed. And in
Mhm.
every item, when people say something, they get a response. We
Mm-hmm.
have
Yeah,
an
so there's some back and
irresponsive,
forth.
nobody want an irresponsive spouse.
I see. Yeah. Yeah. So that's another thing you guys are saying you'd
Yeah,
like to
it's a
see there.
very irresponsive. I mean, it has been since 2020 when Dave Hudson came in. Every time you speak, even if you talk about any item in the agenda, they'll just turn around and not respond.
Yeah, I understand. And
So, irresponsive is the way to discourage people in talking, and that's the reason we don't have community participation.
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Understood.
but,
Look
for
at
me,
Jack how he does in
yeah,
Pleasanton.
for me,
Very interactive.
yeah, for me, the fact that you gave us this opportunity to speak, I'm very grateful.
Oh yeah.
I am too.
Really, it means a lot to me. The fact that I feel like you asked the right question, because you didn't get too much into the technicality. But more than that, I feel heard and listened to.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah,
And
and I really do
yeah.
that. Yeah.
No, and that's something you
Yeah.
should, you're right. You should be getting that feeling when you engage
Yeah.
with your community.
Exactly. So thank you so much. If there's at any moment you have any questions, just call me. I'll be more than happy. I would love to request if you don't put my name on it because I have an international business and I deal with a lot of governments. But if you have to, you have to. I'll leave that to you, to your professional.
Well, I do have to use your name if I'm going to quote you.
Yep,
If
that's
it's
fine
something
then.
like
That's fine.
if something like a leak.
Fine.
But
Okay.
we don't get a ton of readers. I don't think it'll impact you too much on the
Yeah.
business
Okay.
end, and we're very
Okay.
local. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. That's
Okay,
fine. I
great.
want
I
to
appreciate
support
it.
you. I want to support you because I'm not against the council.
Right,
I just want them to become better.
right.
That's
I understand.
yeah.
Me too.
They have a year to fix whatever they need to be fixed. Okay. Otherwise, they're all out. Everyone will revolt on the
Yes.
next what is it? Election.
Yeah, they're staggered, so it'd be two
Yeah.
or three at a time. But I
There
see
will
what.
be 3 of them
Yeah,
coming up, which will be a majority next
Yeah,
year.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Fun.
we'll be in a team now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Well, I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. It's been
And
an
this will be
honor.
out in if you have a chance to go to Pleasanton, this will be on stands on Friday.
Okay.
I'll see you on Friday then.
What's
Okay.
that?
Sure. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. A pleasure. Have a good
Okay.
night.
You too, ma'am. Shirak, stay for a sec.
Sure.
All right. Shirag, will you send me the recording?
Yes, I will.
Okay, maybe stop recording
Okay.
now if you guys want to talk between
Oh,
the
yeah. We forgot.
Yeah.
No. We weren't going to talk. We were going to talk about another
Sure.
meeting
That's
you had
okay,
tomorrow.
but yeah, might
No,
still
we have
not
nothing but great things.